Because I love what I do. I love my work, you know. I'm unfortunately, I wish I was an artist or a musician, because that's something you just do all the time. You know, you don't sit there going, "It's me, Mario, wahoo, hello." You don't do that. You know, I want to be the actor. I'm going to learn my. You know, you just don't do that. But you guys get to draw all the time, or paint, or do those things. I think that's so cool. I wish I could do that, but if I showed you my painting, you'd run away screaming. So, go ahead, ask me anything. Yeah.
You often find yourself doing Mario pose. What could be the appropriate situation?
Do I find myself doing Mario? You know, I dream as Mario. My most often dream of Mario is flying. I have dreams with Yoshi. I've had dreams with Luigi. It's very strange, but you know, I think for me the characters are just inside of me. I believe that you know, but do I use it inappropriately? Absolutely never. Because here's the thing is that you guys, as soon as I say one word, I think of 5 things I want to say. Anyway, you guys are in a very interesting, because the caveat's more important than the blah, blah, blah. You're in an interesting time. You know, actors are currently destroying their lives by tweeting. You know, oh, I just did this audition for Mickey Mouse. And Disney goes, that actor will never work for Disney. So you have this world that's a lot more dangerous than the one that I grew up in, where, you know, for an actor, it's like, I never speak anything bad. I never will use a bad word as Mario, because you're sitting there, you're amongst your friends, and the studio's there, and the engineer just leaves the button going. And all of a sudden, you're recorded saying something that's inappropriate, and then you've damaged your relationship with yourself, your clients, with everybody. You've damaged the character. And so you have to be much more careful than anybody of my generation used to have to be. Now we all have to be careful. So you don't share your design. You don't share unless you know, this is a copyrighted thing. This is something you have to protect your work and your words and your relationships with your clients, with your school, with everything, in a way that I believe in this anyway, that relationships are sacred. So I would never do anything that harms in any way, or jokes in any way inappropriately, or takes advantage of my position, you know, in order to get something. But you have to, you know, in all the phases of your life, you have to be very protective of your relationships and protective of yourselves and your careers, because your ego can destroy in 1 minute what you spend your whole lifetime creating. You know, I could destroy in one word my whole career. So you have to be really, you know, that's why I believe in living the character. You have to be careful. But you also have to have great fun. Just know when it's right and when it's inappropriate. I have a question over there.
Yeah, it's a question related to the previous question. Are there things from your point of view that you want to do with Mario in the future?
Oh, are there things in the future that I want to do as Mario? You know, I love my relationship with Nintendo. I have, for me, it's like waiting for that phone to call or ring, or the email to come, or that sort of like, hey, listen, by the way, you know, you want to come to Belgium and talk to a class? I'm like, woohoo, yeah, I want to come to Belgium and talk to a class. Fantastic. What am I going to talk about? It doesn't matter. I can't wait, you know. So I'm always fascinated and always interested in what things are coming in the future. We walked into the studio, and I thought, you know, because I saw this at E3, I'm like, wow, kitty cats. I love that power up. And I'm thinking, okay, we're going to go in and it's going to be like, Mario's going to be like, and Luigi's going to, you know, he's like, no. We bounce, and all of a sudden it's like, Mario's like, you know, and Luigi's like, you know, it's like this whole different world. So the creative process for me is like, anytime you say, come and play in my sandbox, I'm like, okay, you know. So I hope lots more things. And the great thing is that I trust that, you know, the culture in Nintendo is we want to make the best video games we can possibly make. And out of that is driven the possibility of, we want, you know, Mr. Miyamoto, the creative teams want to make a game in 3D. 3D, you can't make a game in 3D. Yes, you have to make the platform that makes 3D possible. Okay, so Mario 64 comes and the 64 platform comes. And, you know, with the Wii, and then the Wii U, you know, for HD and multiplayer and all these things. So the desire to create the greatest game creates the drive for the technology to go forward and stuff. And so for me, it's each time it's a joy. I do so little. You know, years go into this craftsmanship, and I walk in, as the cake decorator and go, I put the ice cream here, and I put a little scoop there, and a little chocolate, and people go, wow, that looks like such a nice cake. But it's like, I get recognized for what I do, but what I do is so small in the equation of the thing, too. As you guys all know, it's a huge endeavor to do a video game. So I'm very lucky. Go ahead, ask me anything. Yeah.
So what is your favorite Mario power-up?
What's my favorite Mario power-up? Wow, that's a really good... there's something about Tanuki suit that I just like, Tanuki suitie. The princess says, oh Mario, you look so handsome in your Tanuki suitie. There's something about that one that I just love. And I love the propeller hat where, he goes up, you shake and throw the propeller hat, and Mario just keeps kind of like walking like that. I love that, and I love these cats. Because you go, and you can spin around and you can scamper up the walls. And Princess Peach is a little power-up kitty cat. So this is my all-time favorite game right now, but I'm unreliable on this because this is my current game, my favorite game of all time. But I'm sure that in next year, or the year after, whenever Mario Kart 8 comes out, or that will become my favorite game ever because I love the games, and each one brings like laughter when I see Mario Kart game or the Super Mario Bros. Wii, and tinglies, hair standing up when I see Galaxy, which I still play like this, and I go upside down. So I love them all. Yeah, it's great. Who else? Yeah.
I would love to hear you do the Yoshi voice.
Oh, I would love to hear you do Yoshi. Just all I do with Yoshi is I can because I don't do the Yoshi voice. I just do Mario, Waluigi, Baby Mario, and Baby Luigi. But I love Yoshi, and I still do this real-time animation system. Except now, instead of having, surgical glue and points on my face going, hello, I'm a Mario, it's all microphone driven, the technology is so awesome. I go, ooh, and the microphone hears ooh, the digitizer hears ooh, and the computer goes, oh, that means the mouth goes ooh. So I, hello, and then hello, so it does that in all virtually real time. So I get to do that all over the world, and I get to talk to children all over the world, like at the Nintendo World Center, or the World Store, and at the shopping malls and centers. And it's so fun, because I always say, yeah, do you have a pet Yoshi? No, I don't have a pet Yoshi, I have a pet dog. It's just like a Yoshi, only doesn't lay eggs. It's just, there's something, Yoshi is such a great character. I love it. You got the pink Yoshi, blue Yoshi, red Yoshi. I like it, the polka dot Yoshi. Sometimes I'm in bed, and there's so many Yoshis, I say, hey, what about me? I gotta get in bed too. And the Yoshi's parking, I jump into bed, and then the Yoshis all come, and they wake me up in the morning with a kick in the face. It's just like this world just having, I love children so much, and their suspension of disbelief is what I believe every artist has to have as a fundamental. For me, the choice of innocence is the choice that I have to make, that I want to make, that compels me. There's so much happens in life that you can say, oh, there's war, there's pain, there's pestilence, there's poverty, you experience death. We all experience all of the emotions that are common to human beings. But how you respond to that is how the character that you decide to be. And for me, innocence is the choice to make, and cynicism is equally valid. But for me, in what I want to do in the expression of my artistry, I want it to be a hoo-hoo, so that's that. Yes, was that an arm up, or that was a scratch on the back? Scratch. Darn, I was trying to get out of that awkward moment. Yeah.
If your friends hadn't convinced you to the acting class, would you see yourself doing something else?
If I hadn't done that acting class, would I have done something else? I'm sure I have no idea. I'm absolutely sure I have no idea. I don't know, because, you're a little bit like the Zen. You're kind of like the leaf on the stream as the water's going down, and you think, oh, I'm headed for that little calm pool over there. Whoops, daisy, and then you're going somewhere else. You just don't know, I thought I was going to be a lawyer. I thought I would be, initially I was going to be a psychologist, then a philosopher, a teacher, lawyer, an international law diplomat. I don't know what happened.